think it depends on the business plan. If you have a business plan being a core investor who is looking for 5, 6, 7% on a long-term basis, then you're absolutely fine with 50 or 60% LTV, which is at the moment my impression is that the average leverage over all product categories, I would say, is in between 50 and 60, 65%. But I don't exclude that we will get back to a level of 70% as well. Not to the crazy 80 or 85% we have seen some years ago. But again, we have different type of investors at the moment. We have long-term investors and very prudent investors who don't seek 80 or 90%. So for this reason, I don't see the markets is getting back to those levels.
Okay, good. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think according to our experience in France, it comes back to 70% and 72, 75%, even on the opportunistic deals, and mainly with, say, French banks, because French banks cannot compete with the level of margin that, the fund brief banks can propose. So they have to think in a different way. And, for us, even as opportunistic players, it could provide a lot of opportunities to come back to pretty high level of margin if you want to do so. So then it's a question, do you really want to do it or not? But you could have access to that probably with higher margin. So you have different options today as opportunistic players to structure your financing. And that's clearly started. I mean, that started probably at the beginning of the year or at the end of last year. And I will say that's a good indicator is the fact that we are again invited for lunch, from banks, which means that probably that will open new opportunities for us.
That's always a good sign. Go ahead.
Yes. That's very interesting, because once you go to England, people are looking for loan to value 60, 70, opportunistic investment, and so on. But it could be a good opportunity in investing in a core office asset with 30 or 40% loan to value. And this is exactly the battle that follow all the rate sector all over Europe, and starting with France. And it works pretty well. And this is exactly the type of loan to value that, as a maximum, that most of the large investors are willing to have today in France. I don't know what is about England, Spain, and so on, but the investors representing 90% of the investment in France take between 0 and 40% loan to value. So I'm very happy to hear that the banks can offer more, and I hope that some people will be happy also. But for example, for CeGeReal, we just raised 400 million last summer, 45%, and the banks were happy, investors were happy, shareholders were happy, everybody was happy. And I think that's just a good balance between risk, loan to value, and I would say the visibility we have over the next 5 years on the market. So just want to react on that, because opportunistic and opportunity is different. And I think that for France, the opportunity is not on being able to put €1 on the table to buy 100 euro of real estate.
Just to clarify that, have you deleveraged over time, or has that always been your strategy to have that sort of level of financing within your portfolio?
Well, when this company had been set up, the loan to value was 50%. Then with the increasing market value of the portfolio, it goes down to 35%. And at the time we have been refinancing the company, it was we just switched for the same level of loan to value. And we are one of the most levered rate in France. When you talk about Unibail, Klépierre, and other famous rate, they are at 30 something.